What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with an all new episode of Love and Hip Hop Family Matters. Let's get into it. So we pick up where things left off at, was with Safari and Crisco fighting because Crisco wants to have another odd moment, another wanting a moment, stupid ass conversation about Cisco not arriving at his aunt's birthday party 2 years ago. Even though he already given you an explanation, it wasn't enough for you. You still want to create an issue. So Rich and Peter separate them, right? And everybody's wondering why does Safari go off like that? We've never seen him like that because this was a bullshit ass conversation to have. I'm already dealing with people left and right coming at me for what I did to Erica, and even though I'm not being accountable for my actions, I don't have time to deal with an irrelevant conversation with someone who does not know me. Okay, we're gonna move on from that. Okay, so Erica sees the fight or sees the almost fight, and she feels like this is Safari lashing out in aggression towards another person and pretty much being admission to his own guilt. Now, when she's saying this, she's saying it with happiness, like, see, I'm not crazy in my feelings of how he does me. But I feel like Erica, it's not just about you. It's not just him showing his guilt with lashing out another person. This is also him not being accountable and not owning up to his actions correctly, but also getting pulled for having a irrelevant conversation. It's two and two. I'm being pulled into a situation where I don't want to be in, and I'm being called out for a situation that I'm not owning up to. Moving on. Yep. So Amina gives Peter kudos for still having the ability to still bang on the drums. Good job. And she leaves. She said that she can understand how the situation between Safari and Erica, because she was in the same situation between Tara and Peter, and they just need to heal. So after Amina leaves, Peter tries to flirt with Tara by asking her, do she need help to walking back to her room? She said, oh no, Peter, I don't need your help. We've been there, we've done that. 3 kids later, I'm okay. He said, I got new moves. Okay, tell some young girl to use that. Don't let go of that. Tell some young girl to use that. Peter, do you honestly think that you have that much of a pull to get Tara back? I know Peter must be really kicking himself how he did not fully appreciate Tara for who she was. I'm pretty sure he did, but Tara, please, clink clink. Don't break. Don't break, girl. Clink clink, okay? That's all I want you to do. So it's the next day. Mimi and Stevie are outside having a conversation about how good the jam session was, and the situation between Eric and Safari reminds him of him. Really? How so? There's similarities between that. Okay. And, he talks about the time where he gave Mimi and Jocelyn both same rings at the same time. And he definitely played a very dangerous, toxic game between Mimi and Jocelyn, because he was dangling both at the same time, telling them both promises, telling them both this, and how it blew up in his face. He admits that he hasn't spent a lot of time with his daughter Ava, but it's going to be different this time. I guarantee you. I promise you. I am in LA, but I'm going to be in Atlanta a lot more. And Mimi don't want to hear about no promises. She wants you to just do it. I'm not listening to this. I've listened to this for the last 12 years about your promises. Right now, don't promise me. Just do it. Stop telling me or what you're about to tell me when you're going to do it to Ava. Just do it. That's it. And then he keeps on going on about how I'm going to be the better person. I'm going to be the better man. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be the better man. She said, I don't want you to be the better man. I want you to show how a better father you can become. Show Ava how much of a better parent you can become. That's all she wants you to do. Okay, moving on. Rich and Cisco, they run and they talk about what happened last night. He wants to know, why did you and Safari almost fought, right? And I think Cisco wants to say he wasn't being honest about why he didn't want to show up at his aunt's birthday party. And the issue was him not showing up was the fact that he told him he wasn't showing up. AKA, I'm mad that he didn't come to my aunt's birthday party. Okay? Crisco, I'm going to need you to let this go. It's not that serious that he didn't show up to your aunt's party. Did your aunt move on? Was it really that bad? Was this the biggest part of the year? I'm confused. Then he was trying to tell me how He was trying to tell Rich how everybody was coming up to him for 3 hours asking him, where's Safari, where's Safari, where's Safari. I doubt it. You probably wanted people coming up to you and asking you where's Safari because you once be one who had pulled to bring Safari in. So this was about you. This wasn't about Safari showing up for your aunt. This was about you. Then, of course, Rich is telling him it's a time and place. And right now, you're choosing the wrong time and place to have these conversations right now. Also, so Cisco wanted to talk about how the reason why it wasn't because he didn't show wasn't because it was because of Deb. Safari's career was put on. You don't think at some point Safari must have already thanked Deb for putting him on? What showing up to the birthday party was going to do? Not have him have a career? She's not managing him. Okay, Safari. Okay, Cisco. But at the same time, Rich is like, first of all, dead that shit, please. Dead that shit and fix the situation with Sin. Because that has to get addressed before we leave here. Please do that. Marcus, he's in the gym with Safari and Peter, and they're talking about the blogs. Did you send the girl flowers? Because Marcus didn't know about sending the girl flowers. He didn't know that part. Safari with the lie. I didn't send her flowers. It was made up. But looking back as to, you need to learn how to handle the situation, because the more you're mishandling your woman's feelings, the more it's going to hurt for her. The more harder it is for her to heal. Because she needs to heal of all the things that you've done to her, okay? And then he's still going back to his same thing. He was divorced. Not divorced. He was getting a divorce. They haven't seen each other in over 5 months. So he felt like, I can do me. I can do what I want to do. And so can she. You say that now, but if she's in the scene with another man, you're going to have an issue. Watch. Watch, okay? So Marcus just wrote it down to him. Listen, be accountable for your actions, okay? It may hurt her, but at least it'll give her some time that you were being honest and truthful about what you did, and she can heal. Right now, she is in such a broken state. It's hard for her to heal throughout this. So you need to be accountable for your actions. That's the only way it's gonna That's the only way it's gonna move forward, if you're accountable. You're not being accountable. You're still holding on to this lie. And it's not to make her it's not just to make her feel better, but not make her heal. What I wrote? Right, yeah. Yes, telling her is not just for her to heal, but just for her to know how you came to her with the honest truth, okay? It's going to hurt a lot more, but the fact that you told her the truth is going to heal better. And Safari felt like Marcus broke it down for him to click. I was not taking care of my woman's feelings properly. I was hurting her and not realizing how much I was hurting her. And he said, when men do shit, we lie because we don't want to admit that we were guilty. So he admitted he did send her flowers. He was out there living his whole life. There it is. Jonathan is preparing for his Pride event that he's having, and he's going to talk about conversion therapy. Before the event, Cisco and Sin have another conversation. In a nutshell, Cisco is trying to find other fancy words about how he did not mean to take the record because he was mad that Sin did not give him any sex. But he said that's not what happened. There's a lot more factors involved. That's not what I said. But that's basically what you did, Cisco. I don't know what you tell yourself when you go to sleep at night. You told Sin, I want more. She said no. You took the song, the masters, the record, the record, and everything. And she felt betrayed. She felt hurt. You were my friend. I trusted you. When Rich put us together to work, I told you my story. I said my brother was in music. I wanted to continue on. You know he committed suicide. I did the song. You come at me with I want to live happy ever after. I said no. You took it away. But then consider the fact that I didn't give you that. Now you want to throw all these invoices on me. As if you... See, Cisco, you was already fucking up from the beginning. You thought you were going to woo her by paying for the song, paying for the track, paying for this. And the end of it, she was supposed to be like, oh my God, you did it for me. Oh, I cannot wait to have sex with you. No. If you were really about to do it from the kindness of your heart, you shouldn't have expected anything in return. But you wanted something in return. You wanted sex. She said no. And she said no, you got petty. Because I hated the fact that Crisco said the same exact thing that Sin said. Since I did not give you any sex, you took the song. And he said, I should not have done that. I misread the whole situation because we were hanging out, we were going to clubs, going to dinner, but we were friends. Friends can't hang out. Friends can't go to dinner. Friends can't go to nightclubs. Excuse me. So the fact that you misread because you was thinking with your dick and not with your head, you should have handled business and said, I should have told you about the expenses first and did everything right. Exactly. You should have. You should have. And when you did that to me, it took Sin a long time to get back into music. Her long 5-year hiatus she took for not doing the music was how much she was burned by this. And he gave her the song back. She said, I don't want it because at the end I wanted to honor my brother with that song. But right now I'm doing my own thing, putting my own music out, and that's honoring him. And that's real talk. Real talk right there. So at the end of the day, he apologized for how it went down. I should not have did that. That was my fault. She said, all right, we forgive you. We cool. We good. That's all I wanted was to have a conversation. That's it. And she said, ladies, public service announcement. Do not think that you have to sleep with somebody to get put on. Trust and believe you can get put on. You're on your own. And she ain't said nothing but a word. There are a lot of men who do dangle what they can offer you in order for you to give up something in return. And that's not right. You can't just do something for me because I have talent. You can't do something for me because I have the actual skills. You want more out the deal? Did you want to fuck with me in the first place? Like, did you not hear my story? Did you not pay attention to what I was saying? Or you just wanted the pussy? Got it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is between Sin and Crisco. It is. He apologized. Fine. Move on. Jonathan. His event is happening. And he talks about conversion therapy. He was bullied a lot as a kid. His mom did not know how to handle the bullying problem. So she sought out a doctor. Did not read any reviews. Did not find a second opinion. Just her doctor figured that would solve everything. No. He was shot up with testosterone at the age of 8. He was strapped to a chair where they would shock him if he would talk about his desires or answer a question wrong. And it was very sad. It was very disgusting. And it is awareness to a very situation because kids are dying. Because kids can die from a conversion therapy, you know. And he reached out to his organization. I think it's called Born Project, Born Perfect organization, where they are looking at to abolish or to, ban conversion therapy. They're going to ban that shit. Everybody was disgusted. Now, I did pan over to see Zell's face when they were going back and forth while he was speaking. I felt like it was hot. And I felt like Zell was uncomfortable because I think Zell was battling his own situation, his own bullying, his own fear, his own how he was treated when he was learning how to become himself. And I'm sorry, y'all know what happened. My camera just cut off. But basically, when I looked at Zell's face, he was definitely uncomfortable because I think he was battling himself and looking back on how he was treated when he was growing up. That's how it was. And everybody was pretty much, discussed about the whole thing. You don't need to change folks to be who you want them to be. Let them be who they want to be, okay? And it's crazy how a lot of people are really crazy. A lot of people are amazed and shocked that, not even amazed, they are appalled and shocked that conversion therapy is still a thing. Absolutely. I remember this movie, But I'm a Cheerleader, and I remember on Greenleaf when Chastity's husband, he was gay, but he was trying to hide it. He was trying to suppress it. So he sought out a group session, a group therapy with other people, and they gave them Ipecac. And if they ever felt any desires or lingering thoughts about the same sex, they would take that Ipecac because the way you're thinking is nasty. The way you're thinking is disgusting. Throw up those nasty desires. And that's disgusting to even want to do. That is so crazy and psychologically in the mind fucked up. Completely fucked up. I didn't like that one bit, okay? So everybody's pretty much amazed about how Jonathan has grown from that. He has looked at the sun is still shining. He's himself. He enjoyed being himself. He has no problem saying, I am proud to be who I am, okay? And while that's a really good thing that Jonathan is smiling at the end of this, because that's so hurtful for me to hear. It is. And he said, seek out the organization, sign up, be on the petition, join, you know. Peter is giving out his love, his thanks, he's cheering him on, but Amina wants to call out the fact that Peter denied his son for dressing up as a ladybug for Halloween. Now that did ruffle a few feathers. It did struck a nerve with Peter because maybe it was what she thought it was. And everybody was like, whoa, Amina, whoa, whoa, why would you say that, right? So he said, don't do that, don't do that. That's not how it went down, okay? That's not how it went down. And Amina wanted to speak up because at that time she's not saying that Peter is homophobic or anti-gay, but you did deny your son to express himself when he wanted to dress up as a ladybug for Halloween, and she felt like I would be a wrong person if I didn't say anything. Bobby's upset because he's thinking about his own trauma of what he went through when he couldn't be himself, and he's like, why, So everybody chimes in. Jonathan tells his guests, thank you for coming. I'm sorry we're going to overtalk each other, but you can leave. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it, right? So Amina's just trying to check Peter about what he didn't allow his son to be when he went dressed up for Halloween. He said, first of all, don't do that to me. I've never been anti-nothing. I'm out here with a pink shirt on. He's out here with a pink shirt on. We're not going to do it. We're not going to make a moment out of that, okay? They're going back and forth, and he's not gonna. Peter don't like the fact that you're calling me out for treating my son differently over a costume. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do that. We're not having that conversation. Bobby is loud as hell, yelling, screaming, and he's like, "Don't call me out being a fucked up parent because of what I did." So Jonathan knows that Peter isn't homophobic, right? But that type of conversation do need to be said. Because when it comes to that time where a kid is dressing up for Halloween, it's always what type of costume is appropriate. Don't want my kid to get yelled at or, talked about, sneered, booed, all that type of stuff. So, of course, I'm trying to protect my child from getting, laughed at, right? But obviously there's an underlying conversation that you can talk about. So Tyreek's on the mic and said, my son's 5 years old. He changed his mind every other day. And that's how it went down. Zell gets on the mic and said, Peter is a good dad. He's a great dad. What he did wasn't wrong. And Tyreek, I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of different costumes. My son changed his mind. I'm not going to do that. Rich tells Peter he should have stayed and still had the conversation because you made it worse by walking out like that. And Tyra got on the mic and defended you. So you shouldn't have, it made it bigger than what it was, but Amina was wrong for what she said. And he said, my son came up to me with a pink ladybug costume and tights on. I said, that's not for you, that's for a boy. I mean, that's for a girl, not a boy. Let's go ahead and find you something else. And that was it, And a part of me was like, oh, that's normal. Maybe he just saw it and didn't realize it was pink. It was from the girls section. He just picked up the first thing he thought of, right? So Peter explained it to him, this is for the girls section, not for you. Let's find something in the boys section. He said later, if my son wants to come up to me and tells me he picked up something else in a woman's outfit, I will support him. With that, I'm like, cool, because I had a conversation with my husband the other day about this, and he said it doesn't have to be that deep of a conversation. It's just a costume, but I know a conversation will get had if it comes to that. I'm not going to have a deep dive conversation about my son dressing up for a Halloween costume. It's not that serious. Now, I understand that when it comes to being supportive of the LGBTQ community, but you don't want it to be in your household, I get that. I really do get that. It's a whole different ball game when it's in your household. But while I understand these type of conversations can get talked about, I'm not going to go into a very deep, long conversation with my 5-year-old about why he couldn't wear this costume. Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hey, y'all, I'm back. But yeah, I'm not going to tell my son everything that he needs to know about LGBTQ community before he has the brain to dissect it. I'm not going to dig deep into him understanding that you can't wear this, or the reason why I'm telling you can't wear this, I don't want them to think you're this or you think you're that, because that's how it is. That's how it's going to look. All I could say is, okay, while you want to be a ladybug, that's fine, but this is for the girls section. Let's go to the boys section and see if we can find you one for you. One for your size, one for you, one for the color that you want. Because you just picked up what you picked up, right? And when Amina wanted to clarify, not clarify, she wanted to be known that he was crying. He was crying. Granted, when you take something that a child wants, they're going to cry. But also, what else they going to do? Get over it. They're going to find something else to look at. They're going to eat a candy and move on. Go to their toys, go to their tablets. They're going to move on from that. I'm not trying to dismiss how a conversation like this needs to be had. Let me see if I can hurry up and sped by this because I feel like my camera's going to keep on acting up. But like I said, I understand a conversation like this needs to be had. But if I feel like my kid is too young to have this conversation, I'm not ready for it, I'm not going to force it, you know. And I just feel like Amina taking this time to want to call out Peter for not letting his son express himself, not letting his son get what he wanted, as if all his life, you mean to tell me that his son is going to get everything? There's going to be a lot of things that his son is not going to get. He's not going to get that candy bar. He's not going to get that toy. He's not going to get that. He's not going to get that. There are a lot of things that kids are going to get upset about when they don't get what they want. It's not going to always be about a deep conversation when it comes to the LGBTQ community. It's not going to be about that. It's not about any hard conversations that they're going to have later on in life, where it could be, I told him he can't wear this. I found something else. Now I understand where it could lead to going down the line when you denied me of expressing myself when I wanted to wear this. I understand that, but that all can happen as long as there's constant communication, there's constant talking. We're not going to shy around hard conversations until we're ready for them, you know. So everybody's going back and forth with Amina. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. You were wrong. You were wrong. And Bobby screaming to the top of his lungs because Bobby's pretty much showcasing what he went through, how he was denied being himself, and why is it that a kid can't wear a ladybug costume. We're not saying that. We're just saying how the way that Peter handled it with his kid, that needs to be respected. You can have your opinion, but respect what Peter did as a parent, okay? And that's when Zell want to come and say, that's why you got a man in your life to explain it, right? So Bobby gets upset about Zell keep on saying this man stuff, because he wants to be accepted as a man. He's a masculine man, right? He said, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying was I was taught real values. I was taught like this. That's how I was raised. I'm not talking about you. And Bobby didn't have a father. And so it was because I didn't have a father, I turned out to be gay. Is that what you're saying? If I didn't have a dad, I wouldn't have turned out gay? No. And I think Mimi was telling Bobby, it's not about that. This was a decision that Peter made as a parent, and we cannot say nothing against that. That's his son. We can have our opinion, but we're not going to drill it into Peter's head about how dare you deny your 5-year-old to not be a ladybug for Halloween. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really trying to feel like I understand the reasoning behind it, but I feel like this is about a costume. Now, I know sometimes costume can lead more when your kid gets older and wears them. It can mean something, but right now, not that serious. I'm sorry. And basically, yeah, he goes back and forth trying to tell Zell he's gay. I'm not acting like I'm nothing. I'm just telling you what I was taught. That's all I'm trying to do. So, again, going back and forth, Bobby screaming to the top of his lungs. He can't be reasoned. He can't be calmed down. And Zell is being calm with telling Bobby, listen, we can have a conversation without you yelling. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. He said, I'm not yelling, I'm being passionate. Okay, well, until you calm down, I'm walking away. And Bobby gets upset because everybody's telling Bobby, calm down, calm down, calm down. So he gets upset. He wants his mic taken off. And he storms off. And Zell opens up about how he was taught to pretty much appear as a masculine man to not get easily discriminated against because he was gay. Since I show up as a man, I show up all masculine, I'm not going to get called out. I'm not going to give sneer. I'm not going to get bullied because I'm looked at and respected as a man. Zell has his own issues where he needs to figure out how he needs to accept who he is and not worry about other people accepting him. And he needs to accept himself. And he's afraid of doing that because of what he was taught to do. He was taught to hide who he was. And of course, Bobby going off left and right. Yeah, I said Bobby left. And yeah, I already said that. At the same point in time, while Zell keep on talking about man this, man that, man this, man that, Stevie J said, well, I beg to differ, Zell. there are mothers out here being mothers and fathers to their sons, and they're raising them real too. So don't knock out the mothers. So again, Peter is no, not Peter. Yep, Peter was outside. Peter was with Rich, telling Rich how Rich was telling him, you should have like not blew up like that. I don't know if I said that already, but you shouldn't have blew up like that. You should have stayed there and had that conversation. And Rich is coming back with telling them Amina was wrong for saying that, because she's going against the man and she has 2 kids with. And I know, Mina, why are you trying to shade him on treating one of his kids wrong? You should be more concerned about making sure he's treating your kids right, because you got 2 kids by him, and you want to be sure everybody in that family is treated fairly, no favoritism, no nothing, right? So I understand how you would feel like, I don't want any one of my kids' siblings being looked at different, not being able to express themselves. I understand that, but the way you came off was calling him out for the bullshit that he did you. Did you really have a fear, or did you really have a hard, did you really feel, sad for the kid at that time? So other than that, it was just pretty much like, calm down. Erica tells Amina, you were wrong for bringing it up, because at the end of the day, that's not your son. That's Tara's and Peter's son. If they had a conversation and they don't feel no way about it, you shouldn't either. Now, I know she's going off with the information she heard about the conversion therapy, how it could lead to kids committing suicide, and I wouldn't want that on them. But if Tara's not crying about her son not being that one costume, not being in that certain character of a costume, you shouldn't have that much of a he shouldn't feel like that either. You know what I'm saying? You should have said your piece without being so emotional, because your emotions are mostly coming from anger and bitterness when it comes to Peter and Tara. That's the main issue right here. That's the main reasoning. And of course, Amina is screeching how painful it was to see how Jonathan went through, and I want to speak against it. And Tara said, we've never denied our kids. We've never said they couldn't be themselves. If my kids in the year 2021, they want to find love, find who they love and how they love, and all I want them to do is to take me on the ride. That's it. I want my kids to be happy. Yo checked Amina about how you made him look on TV. She said, I don't care. Look how he made me look on TV. I don't give a damn. Look how he made me look. Screaming at top of her lungs. I'm like, Amina, stop screaming. Calm down. Stop screaming. Just stop screaming, okay? The aftermath, everybody's telling him, listen, calm down, calm down. Erica speaks up for Amina by saying she is a sweet person. She doesn't stand up for herself like she should, but she wasn't wrong, and we shouldn't downplay her feelings for this. Then Erica talks about, in the Black community, we need to not act like we have we need to not act like we don't have gay relatives, and we don't treat them differently, or we do treat them differently. We need to all have hard conversations and do better. That's what we need to do. So Zell has conversation with Jonathan about how he was sorry about what happened to him, and I felt like I've been an outsider. That's why I show up like this. Jonathan feels the same way, and he especially feels by himself because his grandmother passed 6 months ago, and he doesn't know how to get on his emotions because he's not with his family, and he doesn't feel like I have anybody here that can be here with me. So Zell and Jonathan both hug. He's very sorry about that. I'm sorry about how things went through between us. And Jonathan felt like, I now understand Zell, and he understands me. We're in a different space in our life, but we're a part of the community, and we need to be respectful to one another. And Zell, I said that. So Bobby and Zell, they talk because he did not mean for it to come out that way. I was speaking on my situation because I see how you guys went through y'all, and y'all show up how y'all want to show up. I'm not there yet. And I respect y'all and I love y'all. I wasn't trying to be mean. I wasn't trying to be, disrespectful. I was just telling my truth. And yeah, because they both were raised differently, but they both are different versions of themselves, and they need to just be there for one another. And Bobby can understand that, how we all come from different walks of life. We all come from different times and different ways of how we grew up, and we all need to be there for one another. That's all we could do. Because of course Bobby went through the church folks coming at him about how way he walked, way he talked, how he's going to hell. Same old when it comes to the Bible folks. And he was alone, and Zell went through his time. He was bullied, teased about how he used to walk with his hands. So he adapted the whole actual man style, man walk, so he won't get discriminated against, because he wanted to protect himself from getting teased at. And Zell apologized to Jonathan about the comment he made on the bus. And everybody on the gay spectrum is their own way, their own version, and we need to be respectful and love one another and not be ashamed of it. And that was the end of the episode. I enjoyed the scenes between Bobby, Zell, and Jonathan, because I think that's all that really needs to be said. We're all different. We all have different stories, but we all need to come together and not separate ourselves. Zell needs to stop trying to feel as if he needs to show up to be accepted. He needs to figure out how to accept himself, you know. But that's it, you guys. That's all I have. That was the end of the episode. I'm going to see you guys later. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. I said it twice. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.